Excerpt from Canto 5, The Lustful. Once we had navigated our way around Minos, the sound of sorrowful crying rose up again and made my ears redden with pain and pity. The wails were captured by a powerful wind which roared like a raging storm, and as I approached the scene, I could see souls buffeted about by the hellish hurricane. Their bodies were helplessly hurled about by the angry wind, this way, that way, up, down, and sideways. The gale swept them high in the air and then smashed them down to the ground in endless torment. Virgil explained that these souls had given way to indomitable passion. Frequently, lust spiraled out of control, breaching social and moral norms because reason had failed to rein it in. I stepped forward, eager to hear the stories of these sorry souls, their physical plight already tugging at my heartstrings. A black cloud of whirling souls barreled its way towards us, and I asked Virgil to tell me who they were. These souls have all succumbed to extreme passion, which was fraught due to the customs and accepted norms where they lived, but their passion lasted till the end. The one wearing a royal diadem on her head is Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, who fell in love with the Roman general Mark Antony and killed herself in order to avoid being taken prisoner by her enemy Octavian. Next to her is Helen of Troy, who fell for Paris, despite being married to the king of Sparta, Menelaus. You will also see Romeo and Juliet, whose loves straddled the feuding families of the Montagues and the Capulets, and culminated in their tragic deaths. The one with the hunchback is Quasimodo, the legendary bell ringer of Notre Dame Cathedral. His unrequited love for Esmeralda came to a head when she was falsely hung for murder, although he was later buried in her tomb. The good-looking one in the smart jacket is Edward VIII, who was very briefly King of England before choosing to abdicate the throne and leave duty behind in order to marry the love of his life, Wallis Simpson. It was a scandal at the time because she was a divorcee who came from a country in the West that the world will come to know as America. Virgil pointed out thousands of souls who had died with tragic passion in their hearts and named them all. I felt truly sorry for each and every one, as love is such a beautiful thing, even though it can lead to heartbreak and sorrow. I listened carefully to all these stories of love and felt as though the wicked wind had whipped up my mind as a second spate of dizziness overcame me. Lady Diana, Princess of Wales. I was drawn to two souls who seemed wrapped in their own ball of wind. Their bodies were intertwined, locked in an embrace with their hands tightly clasped. Virgil anticipated my interest and encouraged me to talk to them. In a few moments, they will be buffeted in our direction. Just call out to them, and guided by love, they will stop to talk with you. As they whirled towards us, I chose my moment to raise my voice. I can see you are blessed to be together as you are, but please tell me how you came to be here, as I am keen to learn your story. The cloud they were encased in, like a pair of turtle doves, swirled about in front of us and slowed to a drift at our feet. We have heard your plea to talk to us and take great solace in the concern and interest you have shown for our cause. For as long as the wind draws breath, we will stay a while and talk with you. I am Diana. I endured 15 years of marriage when my husband's eyes were always for another woman. I felt affectionate towards him and wanted to make the marriage that I had signed up to work. However, it became increasingly clear that I had fallen into a marriage of convenience, whose main purpose was to provide an heir to the British throne. My husband's barely concealed infidelity pushed me further and further away from him, and I sought solace in the arms of men who could show me the affection I so badly needed. See how I am punished for my indiscretions now. We divorced eventually, and a year later I fell into the arms of this man who was besotted with my beauty. Passion destroyed my marriage, but now I had found someone who could love me untainted. However, the world wouldn't let it go. I guessed at his intentions in life, but he was indeed resolved to ask for my hand in marriage, and had bought an engagement ring inscribed with the words, "Dis-moi oui." Love is quick to take root in a kind heart, and the intensity of our love continues to afflict me, but it couldn't live long because fate took it all violently away. Love joined us together in a single sudden death, and we will not be separated now." Diana's words touched me deeply, and I thought about how both illicit and true passion could lead to such pain and tragedy. I raised my head and looked directly at the pair of lovers. "Diana, your suffering makes me want to weep, particularly as you have suffered so much in life, in death, and even now after death. I am intrigued to know if you can tell me when you first felt love, and how could you be sure it was true?" Diana spoke again. "I cannot express the pain of thinking back over those final months of happiness in life, when it is impossible to escape such a place of shadows and darkness as this. Your guide and teacher will understand. Still, your persistence deserves an answer, and I am bound to satisfy your kind curiosity. So here goes. You'll hear it through my pain and tears. We were holidaying on a boat in the hot summer sun, and we moored up against a beautiful rocky cove. Next, we dived into the clear turquoise water and saw starfish on the seabed and little fish flashing their blue and yellow bodies beneath us. Back on board the boat, we made ourselves a picnic on our towels and fell to talking about the beauty of unspoiled things, how short life is, and the importance of treasuring moments of happiness so that they might endure. As we spoke, we felt the need for connection, for real value in our lives, and suddenly felt that we may have found it. Arriving at this realization together, we recognized love was at work. At that moment, this man, who shall never be parted from me, laid his lips on my mouth in a tender kiss. That was true happiness, true love. All the while Diana related her story, the other soul poured out tears in heartache, and I was so troubled by their pain that I faded away, falling to the ground like a dead weight.